This is the talk of Music City Real Estate.
Welcome back to another episode of the Talk of Music City Real Estate,
where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
My name is Monte Moore with Realty One Group Music City.
Hey, and I'm Carey Ann with CMG Financial and my mortgage team.
Every week we'll be posting a new episode chock full of Nashville real estate value.
Yes, and you can follow along and subscribe at talkmusiccity.com.
Got a question for us? Ask away at questions@talkmusiccity.com.
Monty.
Carey Ann, we've got some
special people in the house.
Guys in the house today.
Cool. So cool. The one and only Blake
Johnson.
And the very, very talented Rich Redmond. We're so happy that you're
Rich.
With us today.
Thanks
Welcome.
for having me. Thank you.
For those that don't know Rich, he is an author, an educator, a motivational speaker, and he is a 23-year talented drummer with Jason Aldean, and he has played on 31 number one hits for him. Amazing.
Holy smokes.
Crazy.
I think we can all go home now after that introduction.
He's got a lot of energy, and he's the most humble man I know. He's quite a talent, and we're excited to have him. And so with him being an educator and a motivational speaker, we got to meet so many years back, and he did one of our first original real estate plays
classes. I think you had a packed house that
we
day.
did, and he has a great class called C.R.A.S.H. C.R.A.S.H. Crash. And if he had his drums with us, he would be... Is that how it goes?
How's that go?
I don't know. I just made that up.
That's very good.
It's totally good. That's my drum set for you. I feel like I'm on the Muppets. Too funny. Well, welcome, Rich.
Well, welcome, Rich.
Thank you guys for having me.
We're thrilled to have you with us,
This
man.
is great. Thank you.
We really are. This is so relevant to our world, what you're going to be talking about here, because the real estate world is, of course, always changing. Just changed a little bit for you recently.
Oh, yeah. We won't talk about that.
We won't talk
Totally
about
fine.
that.
I mean, there's some, valleys and hills and things we have to navigate through, and that's fine. We're in a rate rising market. And we're in a market where we had no inventory. Now we have lots of inventory. We've got real estate agents that are just 2 years in the business that experienced, a market like that we've never had, and some that have already navigated through some difficult times. And so this crash course, I think if we talk about what that really means, is really going to connect us all with how we can really reconnect with our hunger and
I'm
our
looking
drive,
forward to learning, brother. I'm looking forward to learning.
Nice. The pressure is on.
Yes. So where do we start here with this crash course?
Shazam! Oh my God, that is my drum tech.
And I forgot to say the number one connection with our friend here, Rich, is a very close friend to Jim McCarthy, who is the man behind the curtain, who creates all the magic and the one, the only. You can't see him today, but we're so grateful for him and all that he does for this podcast. So thanks, Jim. So tell us, C.R.A.S.H.
Yeah. Jim, we love you, man. You are a talented guy, and because of you, I am sitting here today. So, thanks, bud. And can you get us with a Shazam right there? Oh, the crickets! But the Shazam! Oh yeah, that's my friend.
I need more cowbell.
That's my friend John Hull. I've been friends with John Hull for like 11 years. He's my drum tech. So, like out on the road, like when I'm getting my coffee, the drums are set up. Like he sets them up and tears them down and dusts them every day. Pretty good job if you can get it. 4 meals a day, riding around, seeing the country on the tour bus. Yeah, we have a great time together. Anyways, CRASH. So CRASH is an acronym, easy to remember. Some people despise acronyms. Everything I do, like I got another book in the works, and it's definitely going to be acronym based. Kind of like the Dummy series.
Everything dummies. I listened through college. The Cliff Notes and the Dummy. Yeah,
fixing a refrigerator for dummies and marketing for dummies. All that. Yeah. So I'm kind of going down that thing. But CRASH was born maybe like 15 years ago because I am an educator. I have a teacher's heart, and somewhere along the way I said, I want to be a motivational speaker. My mom always had those books. The Napoleon Hills and the Tony Robbins.
That's a cool mom, man.
You know what I mean?
That's a cool mom.
She had those things available to me, and she didn't force them on me. She said, check these things out. So I kind of got that stuff in my DNA. So I came up with this thing called CRASH, and it stands for commitment, relationships, attitude, skill, and hunger. Commitment, relationships, attitude, skill, and hunger. 5 things that literally anyone in any season of their life and any career trajectory can use to enjoy a more prosperous life, personally and professionally. So, committing, it being in the moment, committing to your craft, committing to those 10,000 hours, was Liberace an expert in his field? Absolutely. And it took the 10,000 hours for him to be able to play the piano like that. So if you start to do the math on 10,000 hours, it's like practicing 8 hours a day for about 6.5 years. So I'm looking back and I'm like, piece of cake. I started playing drums in 1976, fell in love with it. Wow. I knew it was my purpose in life. I invested in myself. So I made that commitment. So if you're committed to your craft, your team, your product, your service, you cannot fail. Relationships, like right here, like Jim. I've been a friend with Jim for like a long, long time. We met at Calypso Cafe in 2006, and we still mix business and pleasure. Yeah. We finish each other's sentences.
Love Calypso.
Yeah, so relationship. Yeah, I mean, good cheap food. If you're a musician in Nashville and you want to like not starve to death, you go to Calypso Cafe. It's pretty healthy. So relationships in life, I'm still doing business with people that I met 30, 35 years ago, which is incredible. And then attitude, why does every motivational speaker on the planet talk about attitude? Because it's like 99% of life. It's that important. Enthusiasm is contagious. I know it as a fact. I've witnessed it time and time again. It takes twice as much energy to formulate and cultivate negative thought. So why do we do it? I just try to live in the land of unicorns and rainbows. And if I get off on the wrong side of the bed, I'm a human being, this does happen, but I'll surround myself with birds of a feather, barstool philosopher friends of mine. We'll have a nice glass of Pinot, we'll solve the world's problems, I'll get some exercise, I'll eat some green food, I'll watch Alien, my favorite movie of all time, 1978, Sigourney Weaver, the cat lives at the end, there's a guy walking around, dripping in hair gel, and I just love it. It's a work of art. Every time I watch it, it elicits an emotional response, and I enjoy myself. Or I read great literature, I listen to great music. So attitude's so important, and your skill. We need to identify and master the skills. We need to be successful in our chosen field, and we never want to be the fat Elvis, right? I mean, I want to be the young Elvis that all the girls are like, goo goo gaga over, and constantly be not only keeping up with the Joneses, but to keep up with the Joneses, you have to keep developing new skills and keep that hunger. And hunger is that final portion, having that hunger that burns in your belly to be successful. And I tell people all the time that passion is your engine, and you fuel that engine with hard work. And if you've chosen the right thing in life to be passionate about, you never work a day, which allows you to roll up your sleeves and continue to work harder and harder. And the harder you work, the more people, places, opportunities, and circumstances cross your path to be successful. So you can use any of these things. You can just commit, you can have hunger, but if you use all five together, it's an unstoppable, synergistic beast that's going to help your life.
I love it. Are you taking notes over there?
I'm taking it all in. I was one of those students where I was going to take copious amount of notes, but then I lost out on the magnitude of the speakers. Yeah. So I'm just taking this all in. I'll take notes later.
I love it.
And what's so awesome, when you use all of those things together, it does not matter what market we are in when it comes to real estate, right? You're just going to continue to thrive, throughout, because you're going to be always getting your skills to that next level. So you're going to be ready for that obstacle right in front of you. We're always thinking 2 steps ahead. You're on your tippy toes, ready for anything that's coming your way. So that is amazing. I mean, commitment is what we really need to do. We talk a lot about, are you committed? Or are you just interested? That's really key to that. And I love what you say about, attitude. You're right. There's so many people right now, because of the industry, they choose to wake up on the wrong side of the bed. We have that choice. Just get back in and go jump on the other side, right?
Someone's got to buy the house. I mean, the customer is out there. You're going to find them.
And no matter what the interest rate is, too. And that's the thing that we need to think about, and utilizing all the tools that we have for that.
Absolutely. And for me, as long as I've been in this thing, I'm actually embracing the change, because I know that there's going to be fewer fingers in the pie. Those who are the ones that decide to stick around are the ones that are going to lean into something like C.R.A.S.H, okay? And know their value, know their commitment to the goal, or to the end of the effort there. Not that. And I'm sorry, not that I'm so excited about listening to you, dude. I can't really stand it. I'm over here vibrating because you're like, just keep talking.
Oh my gosh. There's not many people that can tongue tie Monte.
No,
there you go. But relationship, you talk about with the R, that is so key. In a down market, let's say they're not, selling houses, but building those and strengthening those relationships to know that eventually you can, sell something to somebody, or, you have an opportunity. You just never know who will cross your path, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's probably people that have crossed your path over the years that you have had so much opportunity if you were just not there, if you never got yourself to be there, for that at that particular time, right? I mean, it's so key. The other day I went to lunch with somebody. I thought I just was going to have a nice lunch, and who knew who was in front of me, and it was a great opportunity for futuring my business. And so, this is the time to build and strengthen those relationships too, which I love the R part of that. Yeah. So good. Skill. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about skill.
There's classes, there's free classes all around town, right, to strengthen our skill. I'm surprised that more people don't want to learn more about that at this time. It's important for me. I'm a 22-year veteran in the industry. I think I know what I'm doing, but I have to study every week, I mean, you probably learn some new...
Yeah, I'm always taking lessons with people, and then I teach a lot. And, when you teach, you have to be an effective communicator, and you have to figure out a way to effectively break things down and demonstrate things, and you always end up learning why you do something, how you do something. And so that's a very effective thing. And, back to relationships, I was in a furniture store yesterday, and, here I am spending a half an hour with this girl. She's trying to sell us this couch that we want, a very specific thing. No, it can't be white. It needs to be ivory. It needs to be this dimension. Anyway, she's working with us, and I go back to her desk to start to get the paperwork done, and I see, oh my God, I'm looking at the frame of this picture on her desk. I'm like, who's this I know this young man. She goes, oh, that's my son-in-law, Rob. And I'm like, Rob, he did sound for us for 3 years. Oh yeah, that's my son-in-law. He gave me this beautiful grandbaby. I'm like, oh my God. Just especially a town like Music City, it is such a small town, the band Little Big Town. I mean, it's so true. This is a city with big town opportunities, but a small town mentality, and you cannot burn a bridge because someone's going to hear about it, and they're going to hear about it really fast.
Especially in our real estate community, right? I mean, we want to work together for sure, all of us. So that's so. Did you get a good deal on the couch then?
It's going to be good. She's like, I'm going to chop off 10% and I'm going to pay your taxes.
Did you get the family discount?
But you know how we're all in sales? Like Jim will agree. Jim, the man behind the board, is like, we are all in sales. So no one is going to hire me to play the drums until they buy into me as a human being. Right. So we're all trying to sell something. And I was, it was like a slow day in the furniture business. I guess no one buys anything in the middle of the day on a Monday. So all the sales staff, they're just sitting around, right? They're texting, tweeting, DMing. I don't know what they're doing there. But I'm just thinking to myself, what would if I was a furniture salesman, I would be so proactive. I would have an email list. I would market things on Facebook. I would get people into the store.
Right.
It's like, well, why are you guys sitting around? Aren't you supposed to be cleaning the break room, or isn't there something to do right now? Anyways, it totally hit me the wrong way. I was like, if I was in sales, I would be employee of the year at Guitar Center the first day. But people are, it's also sales gets a bad rap sometimes. The used car salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think real estate agents and mortgage lenders, I mean, we are in sales, but I think we bring that value connection. But probably it's very similar to the drums. You probably sit there and try to find the new sequence, right? You probably come up with, the guy that's doing the faces, they're always coming up with a new procedure for us ladies to buy, right?
Okay.
So, with real estate, you guys are probably always thinking of a newer, a more efficient, something a little more creative, to turn ahead, to, create that relationship and that bond and or that particular sale. So I think, always sharpening, what did they say? Sharpen your knife.
Axe, I think is what it is. Yeah.
Something. Sharpen something. Just keep sharpening it. Because this is the time to do that. I mean, if you're slow, why not? We could be, like you said, sitting and tweeting and doing whatever one does. I don't even know how to tweet, but, or we could be, working really hard on our craft.
Rich, I love that reminder because, we got it the last 2 years. Nobody had time to do anything other than just hang on,
right?
Okay, for dear life. And right now, if I were a new agent, trying to get my feet on the ground, so forth, and continue some sort of level of momentum. One thing I would be doing right now is going out and looking at product. Okay, I'd be looking at homes every day. I'd be becoming an expert in certain neighborhoods. Okay.
Yeah.
Just like you're talking about those salespeople in a furniture store sitting there tweeting and bored and waiting for the next bird to fly into the bird cage, I'd be going out there and creating my own bird cage by putting my arms around maybe a price point or maybe a geographic farm or something like that, but being proactive. I remember when I first got my license 38 years ago, probably longer than you've been on the planet, right?
Oh, no.
Well, I know longer than she's been on the planet. But anyway, 38 years ago, I don't know what I'm doing. Here I was a laid off factory worker, and not from the area that I was in to sell real estate, but had no idea how to sell real estate. But I knew enough to think, okay, let's just imagine I got a buyer. This is the buyer. This is what they look like. And I started practicing what I was going to do in my mind, okay? And I would practice on, okay, what do the numbers look like? I'm a numbers guy, so I started working on the numbers. I worked on the numbers so much that I could meet somebody then shortly after that, and I knew what the numbers were just like that because I had practiced while I didn't have anything else to do. I didn't wait for that to happen. I went out and was proactive and put my hand to whatever I could, and that was practicing mentally and looking at property. One of the first homes that I ever sold was to somebody who I only showed one house to. And why did I show them only one house? Because they came into my office, told me what they're looking for, and I said, I've got the perfect home for you.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have had that perfect home for them if I hadn't been proactive and gone out there and looked at the market and was familiar with the market, was an authority in the market.
Sure.
And that's what I'm talking about, becoming here.
Key. Yeah, so key. So someone who's been 23 years as a drummer and have been on 31 number one hits and has already been an author and has already done the motivational speaking, how does one continue to be hungry and use the H in your everyday?
What a great question.
Yeah, no, you got to stoke those flames and just keep tapping into. For me, it's a childlike energy because when I had to dodge a T-Rex to get to my drum lessons in 1976. But I had a little blue sparkle snare drum, and I had the fire. And my parents were, thank God bless them, they were very supportive. Like a lot of parents are like, kid, no, you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, do something, get a trade together. And they were like, no, you're good at this, you love it, we're going to support you. And apparently I had this it factor, and then they were like, well, let's get you to go to college. And I ended up getting a master's degree in, music education and percussionist. And so I invested in myself and got those skills together. So just staying tapped into that childlike energy, coming home after school and go, just pretending I was going to play Madison Square Garden. Here's the deal. I wanted to play Madison Square Garden when I was 21. I didn't do it until I was 41. And that's 20 years of hearing no's, having doors slammed in your face, roadblocks, speed bumps. Anything worth doing in life is going to come at a great cost. It's going to come at the sweat of your brow. So if you want to be one of the top real estate agents in a city like Music City, USA, yeah, you got to be an expert in the field. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I was sometimes I fantasize. I'm like, like I love playing the drums, but sometimes I'll like looking at the guys flipping the pizza and I'll be like, man, that looks so romantic. He's just playing with the dough, and then people take the pie home and they enjoy it and they give you the thumbs up. I'm like, it's changing people's lives, right?
Yeah.
You find the right property for someone. I picture myself. Yeah, come on in. Look at this entryway. Look at these arched ceilings. Look at the high ceilings. Great school district. You can sit on your patio and have the coffee in the morning. Oh, there's a studio in the basement. This is the perfect house for you. I think I'd be pretty good.
I think we're lucky that he's not got his real estate license. I know that I'm lucky. We're lucky that Carey Ann doesn't.
Yeah, we'd be ran out of the business.
I always dream I want to own an ice cream shop one day. I just think just scooping ice cream would just be joyful for me.
But I think be the shop with the 2 P's and the silent E.
Ooh,
isn't there a spelling like the shop with the 2 P's and the silent? Yeah,
Shoppy.
Yeah.
Shop.
I love him. He's so good. Hey, this is great. I mean, I think right now this is the time to take a moment and step back and use how do you say it?
The acronym?
Acronym. There we go. It sounds like so many letters. Yes, acronym. I think that's key.
Can you go through it one more time?
Yeah, like being committed, putting in those 10,000 hours, committing to your knowledge of your product, the customer. And the customer is always right. Okay, we can come back to that. But relationships, cultivating sincere lifelong relationships with people. Attitude, 99% of life. It's the one thing people that will consistently always remember about about you, how you made them feel in your presence and the experience you had together, skills, identifying the skills you need to be successful in your chosen field, but not becoming the fat Elvis, and making sure that you're continuing to develop new skill sets to navigate the other seasons of your life.
Don't become the fat Elvis.
Don't become the fat Elvis. That's so politically incorrect. I mean, there's going to be some Elvis fans out there. The phones are lighting up right now, guys. And then hunger, just, staying tapped into that childlike energy and having that flame that burns in your belly.
Yeah. Love it.
So good. So good. Well, thank you so much.
I don't know what to say with this guy.
for being with us here. And the next time you go into a Jason Aldean concert, look in the back, because this is the talented man in the back playing the drums here. So so grateful to have you with us. I'm hopeful that each real estate agent is going to do their own crash course and get ready for today's market. And you've been listening to The Talk of Music City Real Estate.